Let me clear my throat. Bum, 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 ding 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 dong dong dong. 10 a.m. Monday, May 12th. Hope you enjoyed Mother's Day. We had a great Mother's Day here at the camp. It was a 2-day event. Saturday took my mother out with the fam, Madison, Maya, Deuce, all around for the occasion. And then Sunday, my greatest wife ever, my wife, wanted to go on a hike. We went on a long and rigorous 3-dune challenge at the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. Look up the 3-dune challenge. Very rigorous, but very enjoyable. Wanted to come in here. I've been contemplating recording live trades. Been nervous about it. If you've been watching the videos, you've heard the stories, but I'm going to try to get over it, and we're going to start right here and right now. The first thing I like to do in the morning on the futures, it's just starting my 4th week. Today is the first day of the 4th week of my futures trading adventure. I can't believe I'm already into the 4th week. But the first thing I like to do is try to determine, where do I think the bias is for today? Now, when I first woke up and as a psychopath grabbed my phone to check the market at 6:30 in the morning or whatever it was, in my mind, before I even, I like to predict what the market's doing. I'm like, today's bias is going to be up. It's going to be green because of the China deal. China. So open the phone. Sure enough, market's roaring. Then I start looking at the chart. And I'm like, oh, it roared so fast that now my view for the day is down. It's lower. So I've already entered and exited 2 trades on the E-minis. Okay, that's a futures contract on the S&P 500 index, and the current contract is June. Now, do not get involved with futures. Just full stop, unless you're a psychopath like me. So here are, actually, they'll be up on the board. They'll put them on the board. Yes, don't look at any of that. I'll go over that in a second. So the first, I try to, as far as the process, I try to put on a little baby trade pre-market just to test out my bias for direction of the day. So as you can see, first move, I went short at 54.39. I just use one contract unless it immediately peaks its head up to a higher number. Then I'll do another short, maybe to 2 contracts, and then put in a tight stop once it starts to move my direction. I did that at 58.34. I shouldn't call it a stop. I put stopped there because that's essentially what happened, but it wasn't a stop order. It was a limit order. Put it in at 58.34. It hit and put the first positive trade on the board at 250. Then it started showing its hand again, and I'll go to the chart so I can explain myself a little better as to what I mean by showing its hand. Went short again, 54.33. Now, this is the thing that I had to get over immediately, because when you are swing trading or in just investing in general, you have mental blocks that you have to acknowledge, anticipate, and then get over. So one of those would be, well, why would you go short again? You sold at 58.34. How could you short again at 54.33? That's the mental block you got to get over. Instead of like, oh, I'll just wait to 54.39 or higher again, you may not have another trade for the rest of the day or even the rest of the week. So because my bias is down, and I'll show you on the chart how I look at that. And again, this is not trading advice. I'm an actual newbie when it comes to futures trading. So went short again at 54.33 and ended up with 2 contracts, because what I do is I'll put one in, and then if it just has another little bump up, I'll try to get short at a better number to have an average. So the average was 54.33, 2 contracts, and then I put the stop in at 54.26, and it was based on what the chart was doing. I thought I can get in and out of that trade relatively quickly. I did. I was actually about to go record live on that trade, but it started to move so quickly in my direction that I just put my limit order in. No, actually, that I put a stop. That was a stop order on that one, because I thought maybe it's going to travel more downtown. So you have to wait until it gets under this number to put that stop order in. Did that, and then it was 5 seconds later, stopped out, but collected $696 bills. So, and if you're new to the channel, we're going to need to peek at the chart here quick. I can tell by the price. Excuse me. Literally, let me clear my throat to show you. So here's the P&L for the day. That number is a little deceiving because it's lower than that because that's before fees. I have two limit orders on the short side on the board. I have one at 58.37 and another at 58.41. As you can see, both of those were actually put in. This was put in at the first morning trade, just in case it got there and hit. That would be very nice. It didn't. Will we get there again today? Maybe not. But I still think it'll be challenged and probably even exceeded today. So then this one was on the second round where, as you saw, I was at an average of, what was it, 33? Yeah, 54.33. Put another one in at that moment at 58.37, just in case it got hit. Neither one have. So here is the action, just to show you, excuse me again, that I don't make this stuff up. So here, there's our $696, but here's the fees, $1.90 here, $1.90 there. Here's our I rounded that one up to $2.50 because that's what it told me I made, but I normally will put in a rounded number based on the actual amount that I've put into my skinny jeans and my Velcro wallet. Fees. These are last week's trades. Again, to show you that I don't make any of this up. If you're a regular on the channel, I just put the actual information out there. I'm not trying to look cool. I'm not trying to look like I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just documenting my own journey because I wanted to learn a new skill set in my early retirement. So I wasn't just spending money. I was also contributing to the family as well. So stocks became that new skill set. And this is the third section, the third platform of that trading skill set. Options was one, swing trading's two, and now futures. I'm going to continue to do all three. So there we made 50, and we'll go through this on the spreadsheet, but just to show you that these trades are real and they actually happen. Hey, you made $237. I'll take anything. That was natural gas. Why is this showing me all of them? Anyway, so it made a few bucks on Natty Gas. And when you see all of these trades going on in one direction, that means that usually I'm scrambling and repositioning my cost basis because the trade's going a different direction, but still I feel confident. So I'll keep adding contract here, 2 contracts there. Here was $496. Friday, I didn't have any big trades. So that was Thursday. Made 8,000 on that trade, but only because I would normally not be anywhere near 12 contracts, but I was chasing. I got in, I started at the wrong, then I had to chase it, and you'll see that we'll be able to look at it exactly. When was the first contract? So that was another short. Excuse me, as I want to clear my throat again. So first one was so it was right after getting out and making 848. I'm like, hey, I got another entry. So I got in at one contract, 5681, then 5682, then 5684, then 5690. Oh, wait, that one was rejected. 5691. Then you start getting nervous, right? 5694, 5700. So I took a little breather, let it go up, and it just kept going up. 5707, 5707, 5717, 5732. And then I was like, still, yep, okay, 5734, 32, 37. And then I'm like, all right, I've had enough. I'm going to watch this closely. Hopefully this trade will begin to go in my direction. Hi, Sweetie Pie.
Hi.
Oh, is that mine?
Yeah.
My Sweetie bringing me a smoothie because she's very nice. There she is. As sweet as she can be. Thanks, babe. And so then we waited, got our move. Of course, I put the stop in too conservatively. Should have let it run more, but at that point, you're so far down. Like, it's probably, I don't know, 15,000 down at some point, that once you become positive, and I'm not saying, I shouldn't say you or we, it's me. I get so excited that I'm like, I gotta put the money in my pocket. So I put in the stop order. It was hit, and we did luck out, get out of the trade at 56.92. And you saw all of the numbers because we were looking to be short, or we were short, and made $8,000 there. But so go back here. There's 848, made 494. That was probably one of those pre-morning. No, 3 contracts wouldn't be it. But 2188 in the pocket, 594, 296. So we're on a heater. 296, 991. Oh, that's a Bitcoin. Was the other one Bitcoin too? Yeah. So this obviously these are all the futures trades. I thought it was just ES, which is the S&P. All right, enough of that. Let's go and see where are we right now? All right, 28. So I figured we are getting close. That one, this would be this one here. Okay, so it's only went up to 832. But here's what the chart, this is what I'm looking at. So I think that the bias is down. It will be down until it gets to a certain fib. In my opinion, this is where I try to bring in Fibonacci and Elliott Wave. So this is where we were working one of the trades. This is where we were working one of the trades. I didn't catch all of that. I wish I did, of course. I only caught a little. That was that very first trade. So now, again, my bias continues to be down. What would I look for here is one, and it's at the 50-day moving average. So I would begin to get excited again. It gets above the 50-day moving average, and I got this on a 5 RSI. Okay, it's the standard is like 14. I always change it to 5 for futures. It just makes for more efficient trading, in my opinion. So I'll watch for the RSI to get up to 70, or just the feel of the price movement. But as far as, you see the 70 on the right side there, that becomes oversold. Yeah, we did work with this one before it got to oversold, but it was the price action was telling me it was toppy. And then that's where we were working on that first one. So I'll be looking for it to get back into the oversold conditions before I make another short. And the reason that, well, why don't you just go long there? Well, I would, but my bias is down. So I want to try to stick with just the bias trades until it shows that it's maybe hitting a local bottom or low of the day, etc. And that would be based on a bigger picture. Like here is what, 144 minute. Haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, look at that. Hello. That certainly qualifies if we move it over. So let's move it up. Boom. So that even confirms more that my bias is to the downside, because I think this was here. So I'd be looking for a 3-wave move down today into tomorrow. But the fear you have with the futures and all the Trump action is he's like announcing blockbuster deals left and right. And anytime it happens, such as what you see here, China, boom, spike. All right, fine. Now let's get back to normal and reset the sentiment, which would be into the way that Elliott wave theory works. When the tide goes out, what does it do next? It comes in. So that is the nature of us as human beings. We're emotional, and our sentiment works like the rest of the universe does, as far as fractals based on geometrical shapes. I know I'm talking foreign language here, but that's, if you study, and you should study, Elliott wave theory and Fibonacci, and you'll realize that it's mystical and magical. Is it accurate 100%? Absolutely 100% not. But it does lend itself to probabilities, and that's all I'm looking to trade is probabilities. So it's a lot of words. Here is, where are we at? Oh, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been doing a great job with my charting, because when I'm actually trading for myself, I'm looking at at the Big Mac, where my trading view is specifically set on the one or two things I'm looking to trade that day. Like, for instance, when I was trading Natty on Friday, I was trading in here. Did I have the right trade? Obviously. Did I get scared and get stopped out? Yes, I did, and I typically do. Start biting my nails. Oh no. So then Bitcoin, I'd be looking. Oh yeah, it's already moved. I was gonna say I'd be looking lower today, and it's already making its way because this is for sure a top, a local top. Definitely not. I'm looking at Bitcoin 125 plus this year as far as price action. But I would imagine that that is our top, local top. And now we going to get three waves down, or is it going to be five? Three would be a corrective move, meaning that after that correction, we should be headed back north. Or if it goes down five waves, then it's, oh, we've reset sentiment. And now we have to look at what's the next move after those five waves. Is it corrective and then it continues down? Or do we get another flip flopper and it goes impulsive and it goes five up? So, or if it's in an ending diagonal, then all the moves are three waves. I know it's crazy. I still don't really understand it. Not from like anybody that you would consider an expert. I get lucky a lot, is what's been going on. But as you can see, the if you were to look at um, direction and trend lines at the moment, this is what I'd be looking at. Again, this is just visual. Like, what do I what like if it starts to make another run, I'd be looking at two things. One, where are we at on the RSI? And two, how are we doing? Are we approaching? Or are we already into the trend line? And then I would be looking to short there because my directional bias today for Bitcoin would be down. Oh man, saying a lot of words. Hopefully some of it's making sense. Gold, I haven't even looked at it today. Oh, it already shows it up there. I would say for both gold, certainly gold, and then maybe silver, the direction today would be down. And today, oh, hold on. All right, so this would be an opportunity to short the gold futures. You see that? I love to catch those little wicks. Wiki. So let's look at if it's going to continue the run, but it's right at where I would be looking to trade it short because my bias today, and again, it hasn't been proven. It's just, let's put a horizontal line. And it doesn't have to be at the top. I would just be looking at like conservatively in this range as, all right, if you get into a trade here, where you think, okay, it should be turning down any second, but it continues to blow up, then I'd really get nervous here at the top of this line. But that nervous as in this is where you need to turn for sure now. You have to turn down, or I'm going to begin to cry. So look, we've already got, is it the look of, okay, there it is. So we're starting to move down. Let's see though, it'll head fake you a lot. So say we went in at that wick, 32.47, and now we've begin to get a directional move we believe in our favor, but I'd probably already have my finger on the trigger to add another contract if it continues to move north to then adjust my cost basis, my position, my short. But I would be looking for it to go down, and I'd look for at least a bar's worth of move. Okay, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot of points, but I'm just trying, I guess you'd call it scalping. I'm just trying to make some dough, learn a new skill set while I wait for the next gold and silver setup, which is coming, but it still has a lot to go down, in my opinion. I think we're going to challenge 3,000 again before we reset and start going up. That's a big move. So if I can catch some dollar bills on the way down, and there's our move, we got our bar. So I would go to a stop order here at like that bar 32.40, probably 45 stop order, and I'd probably try to wait until it gets at or under 44. It's currently at 44. So if I already had it in, I'd be stopped out, and then you'd laugh at me, but I'd have money for my Velcro wallet, right? Maybe once I get more nerve up, I'll begin to try to wait for these to go from overbought to oversold, but I just don't have the nerve for that yet. But you see, this will for sure meet the the moving average of the RSI should go on now because it's shown its hand. Okay, and we should see that in real time right here. And don't, and again, it doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that's what I would be looking for. And there's our move. See, it head faked us with a little green, and then boom, it's already down to the meeting spot, and it doesn't mean it won't keep crashing through all the way down to oversold. But it's just trying to, from an amateur newbie perspective, this is what I've been looking at with regards to my trades. So I'd have my stop in already at 45, and then I'd be looking to move it lower. So I'd probably cancel that order, move it down. Probably, I'd have 43 on the board and have my finger on the trigger. Yeah, and then I'd again, this is me being honest, I'd already put it on. I would have clicked it right there, and I'd be out any second now, I would imagine. It's at 342. And I don't want to be out because I want to continue to move my stop down to add more gains to the trade. But right now, I'd still be at 32.43 on the stop order. And if this gets into the zeros, 32.40, I'd move it down again to 32.41. And it looks like it's going to try to do it. Okay. So I'd probably be back into the Robinhood with my finger on the trigger to move that stop down again. And just, and at that point, you're already into the profit. So your anxiety has changed, because it's nerve wracking trading futures. Absolutely nerve wracking. So that's why I would not recommend it. But it's fun for me to learn what I consider to be a new skill set. I mean, the trading stocks, that's a skill set I can take into my 90s. I may be crazy then, but you have to put I don't know. Who are you looking at over there? There's nobody there. Well, Terry's usually in that seat, but he's not there today. He's taking the day off. My trading partner, Terry, my alter ego. Okay, so, all right. Now I'd because of that little move green, I would definitely have moved my stop to 32.42. Oh, then I'd be looking to move again. We get under 4 into the 32.39s, then I would be definitely looking to move that stop to 32.40 and just loving every minute of it. But it's fun to watch this go on in real time because sometimes it's doing nothing. It's just doing nothing for an hour, just bouncing like in this range. And I'm not saying that's an hour. It's definitely not, but it could do that for an hour where you're like, come on, which way are you going? Then, and it could be that you're already in the wrong side of the trade. Maybe you thought, okay, we went down or we wicked down here. That's about it. Cause those wicks will send it to oversold or overbought in a heartbeat because I got such a short RSI window on. Then you're like, okay, I'm going long here. And you're like, oh yeah, we're going for a ride. And then you miss out on the top and then you ride this thing all the way back down and then you're pooing your pants because you're like, oh, I missed it. And then you get a bunch of chop and you get frustrated. And then I take laps around between the sitting room, the living room, the kitchen, and the hallway. I can make laps, get my steps in while I try to walk off the anxiety. Woo. Okay. So where I'd be at 3242 right now in the stop. And I'd be, anticipating, nope, there it goes. It may try to go all the way down to oversold. But I'd be anticipating here to get stopped out at 3242, and we'll probably be able to watch that in real time. So I don't want to keep you on here all day. So my plan on the recording of the live trades will be, I may put out 3 videos in a day of 3 different trades. And then maybe, and I'm not going to be able to catch them all because sometimes, just like the last trade on the S&P futures, I was looking to record that, but it started to move so quickly that I just, the whole trade happened before I was able to click record on the video. Okay, come back there. Let's take a look at ES, see what we're at. All right, so I'd be looking again, I'd be waiting for this to get really close or into overbought. And it's just, we missed an oversold, but again, because my bias is down, I mean, you could have made money right there. What's the move? And when I look at the move, I typically will look at the bottom of the body of the candle and not the wick, because sometimes those wicks can be long and deceiving like this. I mean, if you're looking to go short and you had an aggressive number up here, those are godsends. When you get that wick, it triggers your trade and automatically puts you in a better position than you would have been if you were manually trying to get in and out. But here's what we have: 58.18 up to where it's at now, 58.27. That's a lot of points to make money on in a futures contract. But again, currently my bias is down, so I'm waiting for overbought to make an entry. What did gold do in the meantime? And there I'd be out 32.42. I'd have my money in my pocket from here to here. And it adds up. It adds up. Speaking of adds up, let's go to, what are we going to? Let's go to, do I have, oh yeah, I still have two things on the board there, but that is it. But if those trigger when I'm not watching, then the notification on my phone is an alert to say, okay, now it's time to watch. Now it's time to watch. What's this? Oh, it's a fantasy baseball. Tamayuki Sugano. I was looking to add him today. I didn't pull the trigger. So let's look at the league and show you I'm back in first place. The Seiya's Samurais. Seiya, big fan of Seiya Suzuki and the Chicago Cubs. And my brother was in first, but he had a rough week last week. Dropped all the way to fifth. He's Buckner's mustache. If you know, you know. And there's your boy in first place. How many games up am I? 5.5 games up. That's pretty good. I was 1 game out to my brother, and then I had a great week. I'm up 5.5 games, and he dropped all the way to fifth. That's, of course, the guy I want to beat the most. Sibling rivalry. All right, so let's get rid of that and go here. Okay, so let's look at last week's trades. Don't look at the total yet. And it was a heater, absolute heater of the week. Recap of last week, we ended up with $27,352 in profits from the week before. So then last week, we went short gold, made a few bucks, short the market, a few bucks, short Bitcoin, a few bucks, short again. So you can see the whole day I was biased to the downside. So I just kept waiting for opportunities to short Bitcoin, gold, and the market. And we had a nice day, $9,334 on Monday. Tuesday, 3 trades, but all of them were really good. Short again, all gold. Gold, made 83.57. And then on Wednesday, what did we do? Is it just Bitcoin and the market? I think so. Started long, and that was our directional bias to begin the day. So we went long the market, long Bitcoin, booked profits on those. Quick short on Bitcoin, quick short on the market, both profitable. Long again on the market, and long for a nice trade here at 21.90 in the pocket. And then immediately went short and added another 4.95 at the very end of the day for a day of 52.50 or 52.55. And then here's that big trade we looked at. But again, the reason it was a big trade is because at the beginning it started to go very wrong for me. Very, very wrong. That's why I would not recommend futures if you're getting nauseous easy. So that was 89.28. Went into the Z skinny jeans. And then so that was Friday. We went short and short market, both of those. Short Natty Gas, the day was 25.32. I didn't spend much time trading on Friday. I was busy doing other stuff, but we ended up with a great week, $34,403. So that was our biggest week. 34,403 for week 3, 27,352 for week 2, and 32,749 for our very first week of futures trades. So you can understand how I'm a little sheepish when it comes to sharing this stuff lately, because it's wild and wacky stuff, and I don't want to encourage somebody to get into these very dangerous trades that could lose your money in minutes, really. Just because of looking at these numbers, and I'm on YouTube. As human beings, the idea would be that I'm going to just follow this guy's trades and make money, and that's just not how it works. So that's that. Let's get back here, see if we got any clues. Oh my. Yeah, see, if we would have just remained, say we had all those 3 contracts and remained short, we would have made some real dough, because that's a pretty good move to the downside. It's got to be showing oversold right now. There it is, right on the oversold line. So again, you could easily flip-flop very soon here, but on the directional bias days, which are going to be essentially every day, is going to have some sort of directional bias. It's not going to mean you're right or I'm right. Then I don't necessarily want to go long unless it gets really oversold and it gets into the red. You see the red that shows up on the chart. Then I would definitely be looking to go long for a quick um, reversal of price action to just try to book some profits. So that's, again, another little tidbit that if I wasn't doing this live, I probably would have forgot to bring up, is that if my directional bias is the downside and it's moving to the downside, I would consider a flip-flop trade, you'll flip-a-roo, if I get into the really oversold conditions. Even though I'm now trading against my directional bias for the day, I'd be looking to just book some profits. So it could be happening here as we're live. We'll do it live. But no, I think it's going to bottom right. It's trying the bottom right here. Trying the bottom right there. Up. Uh-oh. And really, I mean, these ticks are 25 cents. So it'll only move in 25-cent increments. And there it is. We are already looking at. And it doesn't mean it's over. It could immediately turn around and make a lower low. But it looks like that's going to be it on this move. What was that number? Did it get down to 5817? Let's call it 5818. Will that be the low while we're watching this live? Because if you would have caught that 5818, now you're already up 2 points. You can move your stop up 1, just to automatically get into the money. You'd probably be stopped out quickly. You want to try to give it a couple points in your direction before you start putting the stop in. And if you're a gambler, you're going to wait even longer than I do. I just like the little smash and grabs. Get a little smash and grab going. But there it is. Live, we're showing that this 5 RSI 2-minute chart, ES1 June contract, what I look at. And it goes for all of these. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin into the oversold, but it's agreeing with our directional bias. But again, you get really oversold, then it's a great opportunity to go long, and you catch that move. You see this move to here. But then you got to be prepared, and I would be very conservative because my directional bias is down. I'd be very conservative with my either limit order, hit a number I'm looking for, and then I'm out, or a stop order that I wait for a little bump up above where I want to put the stop in, put that in, and then I'm like, whew, breathe easy, look at some baseball cards, grab a snack, whatever it is. But it's getting into, we're into the oversold already. But Bitcoin, as you can see, it likes to go oversold and overbought. It likes to bounce around within the parameters of the RSI. So I wouldn't be looking to go long until it presented me with some red. What's gold doing now? So it did what we expected it to do here, and I'd just be waiting for it to get overbought again. And and also another clue for me as far as confirming my bias would be not exceeding this number here, 3247. It could easily and probably will do that before the day's over, but it would show me if we're showing over bought and I haven't reached the last round of numbers, then I'm really feeling pretty good about my directional bias. How many times have you said that today? A lot. A lot. Okay, so see, they had just a baby move up, and now it's looking to go down again. All right, I've spent enough time just yapping to let you go. So I'll let you go here. Long video. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below if any of this makes sense. If you are a futures trader and you want to share any techniques, tips, tricks with me, please do so. Although we didn't actually make a live trade, we made some virtual live trades, and I showed you already the 2 trades we have in the books today and what I'll be looking at really for the rest of the day. Now, it doesn't mean I just stare at the charts all day. It's just I check on them from time to time. My wife yells, "You're looking at your phone again. You buying baseball cards?" Nope. Just trying to outpace your spending. Don't worry, she won't watch the video, especially not to the end. It's too long. Okay, like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend. Make sure you are indeed a subscriber. Okay, don't just and you may not even know. Like, I just watch these videos. I really like I like the cut of your jib, Bart, but you're not a subscriber. Click the subscribe button. Let's have some fun together. More faux live trades coming your way. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I'll see you in the next video.